A few months ago, I spontaneously cut my hair and decided to have fun with a length that I haven't had in years. It was nice, but that era is over. Because now I want to grow my hair back, and this time I have a rather ambitious goal to wear my hair or to have it at waist length rather while it is curly. So I need to have a plan, and I will be discussing it in this video. Hi, my friend, and welcome. If you are hearing the fan in the background, please understand that I need to have it because of the heat in Madrid. So I do apologize for any audio issues, but that's just the way it is. Hopefully, this mic actually helps a lot. So, anyways, to help me on this hair growth journey plan, I've actually broken my focus up into three layers. So, I'm talking about inside, surface, and outer. And I'll be discussing that more, explaining that more later on. But if there's anything I really want you to remember from this video, like if you are on a hair growth or any health journey plan, it is intentionality and consistency. Now, the thing with Afro curly hair is that it grows, and I believe all of us knows that at this point. If you don't, please understand that your hair grows if you have Afro curly hair or any hair texture, right? As long as your body is healthy and in a normal, healthy state and there's nothing extremely wrong, your hair is growing. But if you struggle with dryness, which is what a lot of us with Afro curly hair struggles with, it is the issue of retention. So the having our hair looking or getting longer, if that's your issue, is not an it's not because it's not growing, it's because of retaining the hair length. And I just thought about something because I think I need to say it. That is physics, right? So with curly hair, right, if you've ever straightened your hair before, you know obviously that it is actually longer than it seems. Because, with physics and with different laws, how it is that the curly hair will take up more density, right? It will shrink, and the length of it will not be seen as much as probably the volume. And that's actually really interesting because the volume is more of a perception, because it is known scientifically that Afro hair tends to be thinner than other hair textures. So our hair is thinner and more delicate and needs more care. And with all of that coming together, it's what is necessary to focus on retaining your hair so that it grows longer. And it's really cool because I remember someone saying the other day that you got to remember that with your hair, it is a gift. So if you need to do something else in order to take care of it and for it to flourish, embrace it as a gift, because no one else has the kind of hair that you have. So it is unique, it is special. And if it takes like maybe something else for you to take care of it, for it to flourish, embrace that. And that is something I have done over the years. And even that mindset has been helping me with my hair growth journey. So I know I can do this. I know I've got to do it. I'll say those two words again: intentionality and consistency. Intentionality, because you've got to know what your hair needs, the particular needs, no matter what anyone else is saying. Yes, you can take the expert advice and tips, but you still have to apply it to your needs. Even in the Afro textured hair community, our hair is different for everybody. It's unique. So this product may work well for someone else, and it may not work well for you, right? And then also consistency. You've got to be consistent with what is working, with what your hair needs in order to see the benefits of it. You will hardly see your hair getting longer within maybe 1 week. but give it a few weeks, give it months, and you will see a difference with the consistency. And it will probably be boring what you're doing, but it is worth it in the long run. And I believe it's even worth it for you, because even beyond what other people will see with your hair, once you embrace that you are worth it, that your body is worth it, that your hair is worth it, and you take the time to give it what it needs, and then you see the results, it actually helps to boost your confidence a lot, you know? So this will be fun. There be times, even personally, where I probably will not want to do the things that I know are important, but I've determined and I have made a commitment that I will do it because I know that it is worth it. I know that I will enjoy my hair being longer and healthier. So I'm committed. And I hope you are too. And quickly, I want to go into why I cut my hair. It was actually just something that I wanted to experience. I remember when I had just cut my hair after transitioning from chemically straightening my hair. That was also a season of discovery, discovering and learning how to care for my own hair in its natural state. So I didn't know a lot about caring for my hair, but the good news is that in the past it was shorter. So I just had more flexibility, right? And then when my hair started growing, there were still things that I needed to learn and needed to embrace when it came to what is needed to keep my hair as healthy as possible. But I was doing a lot with my hair. I was straightening it a lot. I was having fun and it damaged my hair a lot, you know? But anyways, I don't regret that, but now I want to try to find ways where I can keep the health of my hair while embracing the many ranges of hairstyles that I can do. So, anyways, let's go into the layers that I will be focusing on in order to grow my hair longer. So, the first thing is inside. So, what do I mean by that? It's focusing on what I am putting into my body. So, what I'm eating and drinking. Now, I've always been on a health journey, not always, but lately, I've been embracing a healthy way of eating, right? Eating more regularly the different fruits and vegetables and just focusing on the macronutrients because don't get me wrong, I'm not big in meal planning and focusing on this, and that. So for me, I just focus on having a balanced diet with the kinds of foods that I know will be rich in the nutrients and minerals that I need. So I will be embracing that again. And that goes back to one of the two keys that I mentioned in the beginning with consistency. That's actually one of my biggest struggles. So I know for the most part what my body needs, and I've been really intentional about doing the research about the types of foods and what I need, but my issue has been with consistency. Therefore, I'll be focusing on the meals that has the micronutrients, or the actual macronutrients, I mean, and the minerals that I need, that I know are rich and will be giving my body what it needs. So, notice that this is actually the first step. I'm focusing on the inside before I think about products or techniques or anything like that. I need to ensure that the hair that's actually growing from my body, from the scalp, is healthy and strong. It's the healthiest and strongest that it can be before I start taking care of it. Now that I mentioned taking care of it, let's talk about the next layer, which is the surface. So, when I say surface, I'm talking about the care for my scalp, the skin that my hair is growing from. I am going to be paying a lot of attention to it, and by doing some simple things, by washing it regularly, ensuring that the scalp itself is moisturized but not heavy laden with products or clogged up. And the thing with washing your afro curly hair is that it doesn't need to be washed too often, but often enough. I remember when I was just, growing my hair out in its natural state and not knowing a lot of what I needed to do. I was looking at different advice from YouTube videos, and some of it was like, don't wash your hair too often, leave it alone. That was actually one of the advices that was terribly, terribly wrong, terribly wrong. But I knew it very fast because my scalp was screaming. My skin is really sensitive, even on the top of my head. And if it needs to be taken care of, it will let me know. So I knew very fast enough that that wasn't something that I should do, meaning not washing it often. And I know certainly now with all the evidences that we have, like 5 to 7 days is fine, it's actually optimal. And I believe there's some people that will be that wash their hair even more often. What they do, because the wash day can take a while, especially with styling, they may do just slow maintenance hairstyle while just focusing on their scalp. And I think that works. I'll be finding my rhythm, but I know for certain that I will continue to focus on washing my hair as often as it needs to be to keep my scalp clean. And another thing that I'll be doing is using the heating cap. That's something that I started using about earlier this year or even last year, and it's been working wonders on my hair, but also on my scalp. Because it's like, think of giving your scalp a nice steam treatment. Because the low powered and the low control heat that the heating hat produces is actually really nice and soothing. And I never make it get too hot to the point that my scalp starts to get irritated because it's sensitive like that. But I use it often and I just feel my scalp just so relaxed and more moisturized and just happy. So I'll be using that more often too. I need to be careful because I haven't been filming in a while and now my phone is having issues with the storage. Content creator problems. It is what it is, but I'll try to sort that out after. But for now, I really want to get this information out there. So, and I'll also be researching if there's some oils that I can apply to my hair or maybe some serums that are good for it, that will not clog it up, but will just help to maintain the health of my scalp. Because I was thinking, like, I regularly lotion my skin, right? And since the scalp is skin, I don't know if it's the same because it behaves differently. Because it has a higher hair density, it tends to produce more serum. Yet, for me and my genetics as a black person, it may not produce as much serum as other ethnicities, for example. So I don't know if some things need to be added, but not too much. Like, our history with our parents or our grandparents adding oils to our hair, like magic hair oils or so on. Too much of that was actually not good for our hair. But maybe there's a balance that works, and I'll be looking into that just to see what helps. Yeah. Let's get to the actual hair, and this will be fun. Now, what I will be focusing on is, along with the whole hair shaft, baby, them ends, the oldest, the weakest, and possibly, very likely, the driest part of your hair. This is a part that tends to break off. And as I was talking about retention before, if you want to keep your hair as long as possible and keep the entire hair, we've got to focus on the ends. And that's what I plan to do. I plan to really concentrate on how my ends are doing. Maybe it needs a little extra moisture every week or more times per week. What I would usually do is I would do a hairstyle and just leave my hair alone until the next wash day. Now I plan to switch up that routine a bit, because if the ends of my hair need some moisture or maybe some oils, I plan to focus on that and add it, even if it may affect the hairstyle that I have, right? And also still focusing on doing the things that I enjoy. I do enjoy hairstyles that look good. So I won't be focusing so much on protective hairstyles that I don't like. But I will be probably with the styling techniques, not manipulating my hair too much. Um, Definitely not straightening it with high heat. Probably not. I don't know. I can't guarantee that. I actually want to research if there are ways in which your hair can be straightened without using too much heat or any. I'm sure there must be. Like, look how advanced we are with science. There has got to be a way where that can be done as well. But it may be that I don't know. If you know, let me know, or it's not available just yet. But I mean, I still like to see my hair straight. I just need to figure out how that's going to work without damaging my hair, because now I'm focusing on the health of my hair more than maybe one hairstyle that's actually doing too much to it, you know? And also the heat hat, definitely important for your hair. Now, the heating hat, what it actually helps your hair with is to lift the cuticles, with low controlled heat so that the products that you're using will infuse into your hair at a better rate. And I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't spoken a lot about the actual products that I'll be using. And you know why? Because over the years, when it comes to marketing to our hair and its texture, and you can hear I'm passionate about it. There has been a high markup as to the products that have been marketed to us, meaning that we have been spending a lot and too much for products that we need. I discovered maybe 2 or 3 years ago that I could go to my local supermarket here in Spain and find products that are for curly hair that works well for me. Therefore, I will be focusing on the ingredients of the products more than the brands. And I hope you do too. So like with the deep conditioning, the shampoos, the washout conditioner, I will be using those, yes, but I'm not talking about the brands just yet until I find the ones with the right ingredients that work. There's a book that I recommend that you read called How to Love Your Afro, and it actually talks about the ingredients that you can look out for that you can use on your hair. And I highly recommend reading that book. It's so fun and it's so good to understand our history, even as to why we had to struggle with not liking our hair or thinking that it wasn't as beautiful. That was so sad. But it is what it is. The book will educate you a lot. And even if you don't have afro curly hair, for means of information, I do recommend that you read that book. Again, intentionality and consistency. This will not be about like a sprint. It's a marathon. The things that I will be doing to focus on my hair for its growth and health. I personally will not be measuring my hair every week. I will look at it to see how it's going, but I don't plan to be obsessed about this, rather more intentional and caring. And I hope this encourages you too if you are on a hair health and growth journey. If you have any tips or recommendations, let me know in the comments, and feel free to tag me like in pictures, possibly on Instagram, or videos to let me know how your hair growth journey is going. Maybe you see this video a few months ahead and a year or years ahead. Let me know how it's been for you. I actually would enjoy seeing that, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.